And well, we're very happy to have all of you who are listening in on this webinar here today. And we're really honored to have you on, Colleen, as our special guest. We had you around about a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, as one of the first speakers to, get the year going then. We've just had a great event in Orlando, a global event, which with the 40th anniversary, where I was over. Unfortunately, Charlotte, you were not able to come, and we'll be talking about cows, killing cows, and other things that I'm sure there are lots of people who are curious about little by little. So we, events are great, and I'll leave it to you, Charlotte, to come with the questions.
Yeah, since I wasn't able to be there, then I got the honor to be the curious one, because of course I've seen a little bit, and we can't put like 2 days event into 45 minutes. So
we can try.
we can try. We'll just double speak fast and everything. But that is, just how it is. And for those of us who have attended previous events, smaller events, we know that it gives a lot, and there's always a lot of energy, and you are, full of energy when you leave the conference and things like that. So I think you are like, woo, at the moment. I feel the energy just through the internet or the Facebook things going on there. I was just like, wow. So could you start with a small overview of
wow.
wow.
I know, it's so, I mean, we all have this in our heads. I know everyone has this picture of what happened, and it really kind of started out about Wednesday when people started arriving, and we had our tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 winners, which were, when we saw them all on stage on the Friday getting recognition, you realize that nobody really knew who any of them were. It was a wonderful new group of Nikken consultants who are top consultants in the world globally. And they got to experience a wonderful day at Disney World, and they went to Epcot and spent a day with Mr. Foley and Ben Woodward at Disney. And then they were treated to a spectacular dinner. I can only imagine. I too was not invited, so I can only imagine. They said it was so much fun. And they went to Morton's, which is one of the most exclusive steakhouses in the United States. It's a chain, but they don't feel like it. They're very exclusive. Usually, I always say the food at Morton's is on steroids. They have potatoes the size of pumpkins. I mean, it's just, I've never seen such big food. And I know a lot of you from Europe go, oh, when you go to America, you always say, boy, food is big, but this place is even bigger. So they have potatoes that are like this. Anyway, they had a beautiful dinner there. And then the next day, on Thursday, I guess it really, all the festivities started the afternoon when we had the Millionaire and PC meeting in the afternoon, where all the leaders came and met with Ben and Mr. Foley, and they were in a meeting all afternoon. Ben shared the vision of Nikken and what was going to happen, and really what a lot of that meeting was really about quality enrollments and mentoring, and finding out where everybody was at and what was going to happen in everyone's market. So it was quite a good meeting. People really sharing from their heart at that. I was in and out of that meeting, so unfortunately I didn't hear the whole thing, but I think everyone took away a sense of future and vision and a newness to Nikken. So then in the afternoon, we had the tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 cocktail party, which was very fun. I got to meet, I did get to participate in that, and that was really great. And people from all over the world. There were moms there with babies and from Australia, and there were it was just a fantastic newness to all these people that had achieved these great levels in the company over the last year. And it was just a nice little hour of meeting people, taking photos. That's where the photos started, right then. It started at the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cocktail party. And that was, it was just a bonding. People, really love the global feeling of our business. I hope we continue to meet, the same way, because we all get to hear what's happening in everyone's market. And I took away from a lot of this that Europe is developing such a youthful market. You're bringing in a lot of younger consultants, which really set North America on fire. I happened to be on a call last night with a bunch of new consultants, or newer, and they were inspired by the people they saw come from Europe because of the young group, and gave them a belief system that this is not just a company that's older. 40 years is a huge thing to celebrate. It's massive. But we also have older consultants, and I think that's what the majority see. But they, for the first time, saw this wonderful youth of Europe coming through, and very dynamic and very energetic and fun. And then on top of it, the Latin American team, these beautiful women. Oh my goodness gracious! I know Yannick, you could, these women were amazing and really dynamic.
Many of them. That was also the thing. There were many of them up on stage and everything. So it's incredible.
Yeah, I saw more women from Latin America, successful Latin American women at the top echelon, winning all the prizes and doing all the stuff. It was not even couples per se. It was just, great, inspired, dynamic women taking those top spots. And so I think we came away from a sense of we're all heading in the right direction. It's really, it was fun. And so after that cocktail party, and then we got that happened, and we went into the millionaire team. It was a global cocktail party or dinner with our millionaire teams from around the world, and the PCs that is now disbanded. We don't have PC Club anymore, but it was a thank you to the PCs for all their years of President's Club for their participation. And but Millionaires is our new group. Everyone to aspire to be a millionaire in Nikan. And so that was a great evening. And anyone who had registered from around the globe who happened to be on that Millionaires Club was invited. So it was again another group of people that have probably paved the path for new people to come along and be with Nikan. So that was beautiful. They had a lovely quartet, or I guess it was more of a quintet. They had, quintet. They had it was kind of an interesting, like a quartet, like, classical strings, violin, viola, cello, and then electric guitar and an oboe. And it was really funky music. It was cool. And they were all in period costumes with the powdered wigs and the whole deal. And everyone just mingled. It was more of buffet style, and people mingled and got to catch up. Lots of great pictures. And you saw those pictures on Facebook of everyone in their tuxedos, and wonderful, good-looking people. I say it was really a lot of fun, and again, lots of conversations, and I think it set up the weekend for when we started off on Friday morning, when everybody walked in with at the beginning. There was a lot of energy in the room right from the get-go, and Ben sort of led off the morning, if I'm not correct. I was in a bit of a fog because I was backstage a lot. And I missed some things because people are always telling me to get ready. Get ready, you're going up soon. So a lot, we did a lot of amazing things on that morning. We did a lot of recognition of our silvers, massive amount of silvers, golds, platinums. We did a lot of recognition. But I think the one great presentation that we had, and we were talking about cows, was Dr. Cruz. He was pretty amazing, and she's got Once Upon a Cow. That's his book. If anyone, and he writes it in multiple languages. If anyone wants to get one, go on to Amazon. I don't know where in Europe, but I think he's all over the place. Not a very expensive book. I don't think it was. I've seen it for $10. I've seen it for 14, but depends on where you buy it, I guess. But I think my takeaway with his presentation, which was so energetic, is that we don't let excuses stand in your way. Don't let excuses. He had a story of the cow, a story of getting rid of bad habits, excuses, limiting attitudes, false beliefs that keep people bound to mediocrity. And the true enemy of success, he said, was not failure, it's mediocrity, the idea of just getting by and not doing anything more than just living in your comfort zone. That's how I took it. And failure, on the other hand, he said, can be a stepping stone on our way to success. So, failure teaches us and gives us the opportunity to learn important lessons. So if not of failure, we may not change our habits and patterns that puts us on the road to success. So it takes adversity to create success. He said it's the absolute opposite. Failure actually teaches us something, but sitting in the middle teaches us nothing, and we do nothing. And so he said mediocrity doesn't teach anything. So learning is halted completely. So best to avoid mediocrity, comfort zones and at all costs is what he put it. And then people try to avoid failure like the plague because they're afraid of failure. And we've been taught to be afraid of failure. And he thinks failure is fine because we learn more from that. And it's better to do something than not do anything. And I guess that's, and he said our time, this is Dr. Cruz, our time is better spent eliminating all the excuses, false beliefs, and that breed the mediocrity. So then trying to circumvent any possibility of failure in our lives. So the cow part was the metaphor for the seemingly harmless idea that nests in our minds, as well as the profound exchanges we can expect when we finally decide to do away with excuses. So the cow equaled excuses. Is that what you got from it, Yannicka? The cow equals excuses. So you'll see people on Facebook right now saying no cow zone, or take no cows, or kill the cows, and it really meant kill excuses. All excuses are equal. Let's get away with, let's get moving on and forget the excuses. So he had, I know those poor old cows. I love cows. I'm getting a bad rap under Dr. Cruz, but it works. And I thought it's been a fun thing. People are posting all sorts of cool stuff about no cows. And so when you hear an excuse from your people, he was sort of just moo, like he was going, oh, I haven't got enough money. Just go moo. I can't make it on time. Moo. Oh, I can't find a babysitter for my children. Boo. Moo. He was kind of mooing along because a moo meant that's just an excuse. And let's get by that. And so I'm too busy. He was mooing, He said, have you heard these excuses before? And everyone, by the end, we were all mooing. So, one of them is like, oh, I need to ask my spouse if I could join the business, and then he'd moo, So he was, it was my favorite presentation, I have to say. It was like one of my my really fun things that I really got a lot from him. He was so energetic. He used Beethoven in his presentation, that Beethoven, no matter what, he was going.
That was a great story.
Was it not a good story? Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
No, I'm sure you remember the whole story better than me, but that was a great story. I mean, I didn't know that story. Actually, I've played Beethoven and Mozart and so on, but I did not know that whole story about Beethoven.
Oh, well, it's a fantastic story. And I play the cello, and I've played a lot of big symphonies by Beethoven because they're absolutely fantastic to play. Not only listen to, but they're fantastic to play. And when you're in the middle of and this is what I think my takeaway on this: when you're in the middle of a Beethoven symphony, playing as a musician, you feel the vibration. And I think there's a reason why, because he couldn't hear. He was deaf. He started going deaf when he was about in his 20s, I think, that he said. And the story goes is the reason why he went deaf is his father was very abusive and used to hit him in the head all the time and make his ears bleed. I mean, it was just like he used to, he hit him so hard. He was a mean man, Mr. Beethoven Sr. And so he started going deaf, but it didn't stop him. And he obviously was so brilliant at what he did. He knew the notes in his head. The music was playing in his, he could hear the music. He could always hear it, but he just didn't stop. It didn't stop him from, he had so much music in him that he kept playing and playing. And he used this, the piano was, on legs. And then eventually he took the legs down because he couldn't get the vibration. He couldn't hear. He was trying to hear the vibration of the music. And so it was truly a wonderful story, saying if this man had stopped playing at 26, the biggest symphonies that we know, Ode to Joy and the Beethoven's Fifth, we would have never heard. And those are, everyone knows those symphonies, and they're big and they're bold, and and they move you because they vibrate. They got so much vibration. And so great story about not giving up.
But the other thing which was fascinating with it was that it wasn't only at the age of 26. I mean, he was going deaf, but then, or deaf rather, but then he went completely deaf.
Yes, he did.
In the end. And that was why he chopped off the legs of the piano or he was playing, because then he really had to lie down on the floor in the end to feel the vibrations. And even then, he made some of the really biggest works that we would not at all have heard. And what kept him going was the fact that, there was still music to be played or to be made, which is just incredible. And I mean, that's a lesson to take out for all of us, that there's still a lot of work to be done out there, and not to give up, regardless of handicap, regardless of circumstances, because that's what they are. They're circumstances, and they're cows that can be killed, sort of.
Yeah, I think the two play in together. I think we all have to have our burning desire or our big why, and Beethoven had a big why. He had so much in him that he had to get out, that his why was, his excuses were just, meaningless to him, and he kept going. And I think our burning desire to do what we need to achieve in Niken or whatever, if we just keep going. And we all have that burning desire. We all know what that feels like when you want something so badly. It doesn't matter what happens. You're just going to keep going. And it could be running a marathon, that you're not going to give up. That's kind of that same feeling that you've trained and you almost see the end and you're kind of on your last legs, but you are going to crawl across that line no matter what, because your burning desire is greater than your body, and you just want to do it and get to the end. So I feel that was, I think our company can use, we're going to be using that cow story forever. I think it set us up for a really great year, because we're all going to be cow.
Yeah, and the other thing is also the thing of when those things you talked about now, with the intention mechanism thing, we've heard about that many times, and that's the thing. Whenever you want to really do something, you will get there, because that mechanism will occur. I mean, we're a couple of people, coming over from Norway, and we had a 5-hour delay in the end with planes coming over, and we had to have redirections with all the planes, and then reconnect the next flights coming from New York down to Orlando. But still, you get there. So
you don't give up halfway.
No, you don't, exactly.
That's right. I had the same issues. It was not good coming to Orlando. And I thought it was equally as bad leaving as well. That's perseverance, I tell you. Orlando Airport is not one of my favorites. I think it's just because it's just jammed with people. There's so many people going to Disney World, and so it was nothing worked leaving either. I found it was I thought the gremlins had come into all mechanisms in the airport. None of the machines that give you boarding passes worked. Elevators didn't work. Kiosks, everything. I was from there to Toronto. I was laughing. I'm going, this is one of those funny days that nothing. So anyway, we all persevere. We all get through it. And that's right. We have the intention of we're going to get home. We're going to get to the event, whatever. So yeah, Dr. Cruz was brilliant. I think we should all, his book is not very expensive. Once Upon a Cow is the book. If you can get your hands on it, worth reading, I feel. And obviously, Zanuck, if you feel the same way, I think we all thought it was a pretty good presentation. And that was just one of the presentations we had. We went on to launch. Thomas and I got to the privilege of launching the brand new product at the event. Thomas is your
European
director and my counterpart, and he is a fantastic. I just got to meet him for the very first time. You are very lucky people. I love Thomas. He is a fun guy, and we've just deemed the Denmark. We had definitely said it was the happiest place on the planet.
That was mentioned several times, actually. So,
yeah. There's been a lot written in North America about Denmark and being a happy place to live. So I think that's why we all got onto that. And you've got the happy sales director now. So he and I got to introduce the new product. And I felt it was very appropriate at our 40th anniversary that we introduced M-Steps, and that being the first product that Mr. Masuda created for Nikan. It actually started Nikan 40 years ago, that one product of the mag steps that, he mimicked the pebbles in the Japanese baths, and he added magnetism, and away it went, and off it took was this new company called Nikan. And here we are 40 years later with far infrared, Dynaflux, and tri-phase technology that is exclusive to us at Nikan. No one else has this technology, and we launched the M-Steps on the 40th anniversary, and that was to me, it was very significant. These new M-Steps that really changed the world, and these will really, it's got the little nodules in it, so people will be able to get these, and it's exciting. I think they're coming to Europe very soon. So everyone is going to...
At least some of us are getting them anyway, because we ordered them.
That's right. You'll be the first. We had a draw for 20 free pairs of the M-Steps, and lots of people from all over the world got them. It seemed to be equal. Europeans versus Latin Americans, and who won prizes. And so if you'd put an order in for 100 PV, and we could put your name in a draw, and then anyone who put an order in for 500 PV went into a draw for dinner tickets and theater tickets and airfare to any Nikan event globally. So that was kind of wonderful of those prizes, and people won those from all over. A little lady, we only had one person come from Singapore, and she won a prize. I thought that was so cool. Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, I know. One lady from she's so adorable. She was actually a new gold in Singapore, so she was on stage, and then she came up and won a prize. So I thought, well, how great is that? One person. Yes. That was fun to launch that product, the M-Steps. And then we had the Cody winners. We did a lot of recognition, and I thought that was wonderful, because we had consultants of the year from both Europe and North America. Latin America, they don't. I don't remember them having. I don't think they have a consult. Russia didn't have one. They do have one, but they just didn't do it at our event, I think.
But we had some great winners of those for Europe and United States.
What's that? Oh, for our Cody win. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And for the US, we had Suzanne and Patrick Truax, and from Houston, Texas. And I tell you, couldn't have gone to a nicer, more deserving couple from the United States, for North America anyway. They are just, diehard love Nikan people who have shared and influenced people, in their area and around North America. They are always there to help people. They just share the products and care so much about people. I think they were so surprised. The surprise look, hopefully we can get videos, because I think you've never seen Patrick Truax he was in such shock. He couldn't move his face. He just looked out at the audience.
I took some photos, and you can see it, they're like, priceless. Oh.
And
It really was. But then we also had this wonderful couple from Sweden. You know, they've been
Daniel and
in
Susie.
Nicken. Yeah, Daniel and Susie, and they've been in Nicken for actually a long time. But it's some years back now, a couple of years back, they decided they really wanted to go for it, and that's the thing again. You know, get rid of those cows so that you really get stuck into it, and it's amazing what they've achieved just within a couple of years. The level they're at, and then the amount of work they've done, and they have really, as they told me, enjoyed the journey of what they've been doing, making lots of new friends and having such a great time at the same time.
Yeah, no, that was, you know, and I think our group, I'm not sure of their age or what they do, but they're kind of like they're kind of like a hip couple, you know. He had his ponytail, and everyone, you know, that's where the youth saw them do what they did. And I think it's so funny, the grass always seems to be greener. People see things on the other side that they go, oh, look what they're doing. And, you know, and they, you know, even though we have successful people in North America, they relate to Daniel and Susie. You know, they latch on to that story and what's happened, and knowing that they can do it too. So that's why I love the global business, because everyone sees something that they don't normally see, and they feel, oh, this is extraordinary. But, you know, people are all working hard, but, you know, they see for themselves that they can do that. And, I thought,
yeah, and you can see the importance of sharing, because of course you have your uplines and all the way up, and maybe you don't relate to their story, but when you go to these events, you can relate to a Swedish guy or American or one from Singapore, if that's the case, and say, oh, that really inspired me. Now I'm fired up again. And one year it's Susan Carver, the next year it's Susie from Sweden, or something else. So we need to share our stories, because you never know who you're going to touch out there, and change both Nicken-wise, but also when we're talking to the customers or to new consultants.
Several people also talked about the fact that, you know, this is a journey. It really is. And with Susie and them, you see that, having been that many years in Nicken, and then suddenly that's when they came to the point of wanting to do something bigger out of it. And I spoke with so many people while there that they were all saying this is a journey, you know, and we had Julie Tara winning the Heart Prize and so on. Yeah.
Did you see that award, the Heart of Nicken Award? I've never seen anything so stunningly beautiful, absolutely exquisite. I was in awe of that award. I was like hoping maybe they'd have a Heart of Nicken Staff Award sometime.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It was just so beautiful.
Beautiful glass heart. Yeah.
She so well deserved to get that, because, you know, Julie just oozes heart, and that's exactly what she's all about. And I thought she was just so beautiful, and the award's beautiful, and it was just her message, both at the workshop and on stage. It was just, you know, it knocked everyone's socks off. Everyone loved her presentation, because she is the heart of Nicken, and how she builds her business is on heart. You know, she just brings people in, and she's always, every time I talk to Julie, she's got her tea kettles on, and people are coming over for tea, and then she just talks.
She's originally British, you know.
I know she
like
is.
A nice cup of tea.
Yep, she makes her tea and then invites people in, and away she goes. And she's got this little magic wand, and everyone joins. So she's a very high achiever in Nicken. You don't want to take Julie, you know, for granted in terms of what she does. She really, really is in that tier 1, tier 2, and the global winner. She's been 2 years in a row as a Royal Diamond. And so it's impressive what she does. And we're lucky to have Julie, I'm always saying, but I just was so pleased for her. That was a shock. Again, she was so thrilled, and it was such a beautiful award. I had never seen it up close. I don't know, I've been around for 3 years, and I don't know why that award has evaded me as far as seeing it up close and personal. I wanted to take a picture of it and post it on Facebook so everyone can see it, because it is beautiful.
There's actually one with Julie holding it, so she's having it close to her heart.
Yeah, just needs it a close. Needs to take it up really close of it because it's like it's art. It really is. It's art. So
yeah.
And
No,
so,
but you talked earlier about having like your why and your passion and things like that, having a vision. I also know that Nikan now it's probably not a new vision, but at the same time, it's out in the open that they are talking about Nikan's vision for the future. I know you had that up on stage as well.
oh yeah, that was well. That's our future. We had the workshops in the afternoon, so that was part of that. Ben was our last presentation. We started off with Roger Drummer, and everybody in Europe knows Roger. And Roger did a great presentation on nutrition and sleep. And then it went on to Julie, Tara, and they shared the stage about everyone can be successful and Nikan, and have your eyes open, be present, and and work hard. I think that's the message, that both those ladies worked pretty hard. Susan had just come off a 23-day, 8-city tour of Latin America, and she got off the plane and basically walked in the front door of that convention center, and will probably go back and do the same on the reverse. She's already setting herself up to do another tour. So
and that's just in a couple of weeks' time or something. So it really is like, wow, she's committed.
She's got a mission. I've spent some time with Susan Carver, and she does. You go to a restaurant with Susan, she's talking to everybody in the restaurant about the business, and how are things for you. She asked the key questions. Are you happy in your job? She's always looking, because she talks to, especially in Orlando, there's so many people from Latin America. She can connect people back to their country, because she usually has a downline there. So she's always happy to help them if they want to earn a little extra money or whatever they want to do. And so she's very kind and thoughtful in her ways. So then I thought was Dr. Naidu's son, Cerise. Soraya, sorry, I didn't get that name right. Soraya. And that was fun. I don't think anyone, if you guys hadn't seen Soraya's before, had you?
No, never seen him.
Yeah, so he was the American version of Dr. Naidu.
You could understand all he said, so.
That was the best.
Not to say we don't with Dr. Naidu, but every now and then it can be slightly more difficult, so it was nice.
Yeah, he was just wonderful. He's about to get his doctorate degree this week, actually. He had left studying. He was in the middle of studying for his final exams to become a doctor of pharmacology, and he gets on a plane, and to his dad's horror, he says, "You can't do that. You're studying." He says, "I can do this." So he gave us a great presentation on the bone health pack, which I learned a lot. I missed something along the line there, but I learned we all need to be on that bone health. I'm thinking my bones are healthy, but it's all the blood and all the other stuff that I was totally jazzed about his presentation.
It all works in a connected way, and that was the thing with Roger Drummer as well. It really sort of made me think like, wow, we really do have holistic products that are to be used all together, because they give the best benefit really then for long term and so on. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was like, that was, if any one of you are not on the entire bone health, you've got to go get it right now. We all learned that we need to be on all the nutritionals, though. We did really learn over the weekend that everything we need to be on, the progesterone, the bone health pack. We need a good sleep system. We need light. We did learn that if we don't have everything, we kind of are compromising our pillar of health.
Sleep, if you don't get good sleep, and good sleep is based on both sleeping, but also the light and good food and all kinds of other things. So it was really interesting, all the connecting dots, so to say.
Yeah, Dr. Foster was interesting. I don't want to skip to Saturday, but Dr. Foster was a great presentation. And he is on TED Talks, and you can hear basically it's the same presentation that he gave us, in a way. That ours is more. I think the one he gave us has been his newest presentation. So it was a little bit more fun and entertaining, but it's basically the same talk. So TED Talks, Dr. Russell Foster, highly recommend going in and listening to his presentation. 5 million people have listened to him about sleep, which is amazing. And he says he never expected that. And I said, it's probably because people don't sleep, that people go in and listen because they think that you're offering them up a solution. And if that's the case, boy, oh boy, if we got a lot of work to do at Weekend. We need to get out there and talk to those 5 million people, because that's how many people I think were looking for him. And he said, yeah, it's about the sleep thing and circadian rhythms and stuff. But I just wanted to give a little pitch out that he does have his presentation online, so you can go listen to him again.
And that's well worth doing, because I mean, that's really a good presentation.
I didn't know we slept for 32 years. That was one of the big takeaways, that through our lifetime, we sleep for 32 years. He used being married for 60 years, and then actually you're only married for 28.5. Take away the 32 years that you sleep, and you don't see your spouse in that time. So I thought that was like one of the most fun takeaways that he.
That is why it lasts so long.
But he also talked about light, and I thought when he talked about light, and who knew that here he was talking about the amount of light and dark and he really was endorsing, without even knowing it, our Kenko light, because he talked about being what was he talking about, blind people and knowing and what happens to their sleep.
Yeah, because the thing he said was that the difference between being actually blind but still having the eyes there so they can respond to the light, because then that affects lots of mechanisms in the body, as opposed to in some cases, he spoke of an example where they'd operated away the eyes because they said, oh, that person won't need them anyway, which is terrible, because they actually, regardless of being blind or whatever, they still need that sensory type of ability through the eyes, and the importance of light, both for mental health and sleep patterns, all kinds of things. So because I think you mentioned several things related to schizophrenia and what you call it, the bipolar type of things, and that is also, it's connected with sleep but also with the light part. So in addition to other things, but it was very interesting how the research and everything, I can't remember all the details, but it is interconnected.
Yeah, and he will present that. I didn't watch the whole TED Talks, but I think a lot of that presentation is in there. He just gave it to us in a different way, and I think a more updated version. This TED Talks has been online for a while, but I posted it last night on my Facebook, so if anyone's part of my Facebook, Weekend Colleen Edwards, you will find the link there. I think I saw Julie Tara had it on her Facebook page too. So, but you can go back and look. Just go to TED Talks and then put his name in, Dr. Russell Foster, and you will find it. So I would say,
and again, start sharing so that if we get it worldwide out to all those who didn't participate at the event. Facebook is a great tool to share all these things as well.
I think I had a chance to talk to him backstage, and he was extremely impressed with Nikan and our sleep systems. He was really interested in what we were doing and how this affects, the magnetism affects sleep. And I think he's looking into it a little bit more, because they connected to him through TED Talks. Ben found him through that TED Talks and invited him, and he didn't know about us. And I think he's now fascinated by us because we do have this sleep system. So I think it'd be interesting to see what happens in the future. I don't know if he's, but he was very fascinated. He was very enamored with our magnetism and the sleep, and knowing that it changes sleep and it helps people sleep. So I think he might, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but I got the sense from him that he was extremely interested in who we are. So I'm crossing my fingers, it's not the last time we'll hear from Dr. Russell Foster, and hopefully he will, you know, participate with us as a company, but we'll see. You know, I think again, he just discovered us because we invited him to this
I'm
meeting.
sure he will, you know, I hope he will, because the thing is, he's actually at the University of Oxford doing
Yes.
all his research, and they have a rather small institute, I think he said, but still a very important one, and they've come out with lots of really, really, you know, mind-blowing things related to sleep and the effects of bad sleep. So it really is fascinating, and it goes right into what we're doing.
Right into what we're doing.
Mm.
Yes. So those were our keynotes, and then we had Ben, who knocked everyone's socks off, because he actually, Ben Woodward, who I know you've had Ben on your side of the pond for over 3 years now, and now probably totally missing him, and he came across, but you have to know that he's come across for the better good of the global company, not just North America, and you have to know that. So
I said to Kurt Fuller, you know, that don't forget about the rest of, you know, Europe and the rest of the world by getting Ben over there. Don't adapt him too much into the American way of things. And he was like, no, we will not forget you.
No, there's no forgetting. I think it's more embracing. I tell you, we are going to be a global company. We're not going to be separated by, you know, anything. And I came from a company that was a global company. I understand the global business and what it can do and how big your business can be built by finding who do you know, but we have to put the parts together, and that's what Ben's doing. He's putting us back together as a whole rather than being in pieces, and he has to do it from North America and not from Europe, unfortunately. So, but you know, he's going to be in Paris on the weekend. He's on his way back to Paris. He's going to be at that Paris event, so you know that he's going to be back and forth across and around, you know, as these big events show up, and in the busy, you know, putting the computer systems together so we can do all this incredible stuff. Our IT people left last night for the UK, so they're over there now. So it's all happening. It's in the works. What he said is not just like, oh, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's on the way. So I mean,
all the new stuff they showed us, it's coming now soon?
It's coming. It's not soon, I'd say, because we have to get the computer system, but everything's being worked on at the same time. So as we get the computer system to talk, we need to be North America, Europe, all of us need to be on this system so we can do this global. It's just, we have to get the systems together. That's one of the first things.
Just to tell everybody who's on, if you went there are going to be some great new websites that we have, with a web shop, with, you know, learning systems, online courses, all kinds of things. It was really wow, and
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this for so long, Colleen.
The look and feel of it is clean. The colors are beautiful. It's streamlined. The photos are youthful, young families. It's just a whole. We're getting away from hunter green. That's all going away. It's all beautiful colors. You know, vibrant families, targeting women of 35 years. That's one of the target audiences that we're looking at. That's 35-year-old woman. And you have to know, he started off with saying, speaking us being on a women's empowerment call, is that 70% of the population of Nican are women. And he started off with that. That was his first statement. And so we are right in the right market, and it's going to make all the women of Nican, we're going to be thrilled, you know, because, you know, finding 35-year-old moms at home. I think, Charlotta, you're the perfect person for, you know, mom at home. You know, those are the people that will reach out to other people that are at home, and everything's going to look easier, better. We're going to have new products. The word active wellness came in, which, you know, we got to stop chasing it. We're not a company that, you know, cures. We're not a company that chases ambulances. We're not a company that's, you know, it's not about sickness. It's about wellness. That's our word, wellness. That was Mr. Masuda's word, wellness. So, you know, we are preventative. We're about being well and vibrant and energetic. And so this new slogan that came out of active wellness, everyone just jumped on that one big time. They were like, Woo, that's good. So again, the computers will marry up. The training, we're going to have right now, I talked about our online silver training right now in North America. We month, 3 nights, and it's not good enough. You know, we have people that join this business every single day, and they need to get trained as soon as they get started. So it'll be 24/7, 7 days a week. It'll be offered in, you know, multiple languages. It'll be video training. It's going to be amazing, and this will take everyone right from the get-go and take us right through. You know, with humans.
And people just plug in. Yeah, you can just plug into it. And that's the thing, that we, regardless of where you are, you just plug into it, as opposed to like, oh, we need to find which website to go into. And we used to have 3 that we would log on to every single one of them and then try to find your way on further from there. So this will be one site where you find everything.
And
so,
that's the beauty of this. This is when we get that training together. This is when we get to start building a global business, because it doesn't matter if you're in Vancouver or in Belgium or in Sweden or in Spain. It doesn't matter. You will be able to now know when you get someone started that the training globally will be exactly the same. You'll know where your new person is, and you'll be able to say, who do you know? And that's the big deal. When you start being able to ask people, you'll be able to recruit people from different countries that will have the exact same training. So then you know exactly where they are, what they need to do, what they need to do next, and people will just march up, and you'll then have now starting to get a global business. What happens with a global business? You recruit someone in Vancouver, you ask someone in Vancouver, who do you know back in Europe? They know someone back in Europe. It starts to ricochet back and forth and ping, and the world just starts to grow. And it just gets bigger and bigger. And we don't have any barriers. We will just be global Nikan. Nikan the world. You know, it will just be, it just starts to grow. And there's no barriers to building your global business. And that's the part that is very exciting. That's my love. Global business is when you find people. For an example, I'll use an example. When I was at the party on Saturday night, a girl comes up to me. She says, I live in Toronto. And she says, I'm from Colombia. And she says, I haven't found anybody in Toronto to work my business, and I've been by myself and doing this on my own. Well, there's Mike DiMuccio, lives 10 minutes away from this lady, and she doesn't know he exists because we do not build this thing globally. Right? We don't know where everybody is. So once we get this all sorted out, it starts to becoming, where does everybody, and it starts to jump. It will accelerate us. It will accelerate us. It will.
And the thing I had, also some Canadians actually I talked to who said this regarding the Women in Power retreats. We have those coming up as well. And then they were like, oh, you know, we really would love to do something like that locally where we are. And we're, you know, coming with some ideas, and we were just sharing something. So I was like, yeah, you know, that's part of the kind of the plan, that we're global is good. And yeah, so absolutely, you know, the more we connect people and the more we will help people, the better it will benefit all of us, really.
Yes. And one of the nice things, I think our products will all be the same eventually. You know, the North Americans always want your jewelry. You guys want something from I don't know, it's always the grass is always greener. So that'll all come into play, and you know, it will look and feel the same around the globe. So that's, you know, it's a chore now, but it's so exciting at the same time. You guys got a sense of it. I think if you're in Paris this weekend, you will get a sense. Ben will do probably the presentation for everybody in Paris. And so, you know, again, you need to ask, who do you know? Who do you know in Paris? Who do you know in France who can get to that meeting? I'd be contacting people even if I didn't live there and I couldn't get to the meeting. You know, I would contact someone and say, get to this meeting. It's going to be incredible. And hear what's happening. You know, I got to travel back with Olivia and her mom, you know, our beautiful young fashionista, I call her. And she's doing a presentation on how to create viral videos for youth on stage in Paris. So I think that would be really cool to be part of that presentation, because they did that video in France, and it's kind of gone crazy. If you haven't seen that, you need to find it. It's really funky. Very organic.
Yeah,
and cool.
put it out.
I put it on my Facebook page a couple of times. It's out there, and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where we have to post it to make it go kind of around the Nikken viral, but it's young. They tell you what they do and what they love, and then why they're in Nikken. And it's all kids. They're all under 30, and it's fun.
Actually, I think we might have seen that before. If it's the one I'm thinking of, unless there are several of them out.
No, there's just that. But she's encouraging all the youth to put their own videos together, and she's teaching everyone how to do it this weekend. So that's really. It's really great. So yeah, I think you know we're enrolling new entrepreneurs every single day, and the Nikken plan, the 2.0, is well and truly getting to be embraced. And I know Europe, you're a little bit farther behind, only because of translation got a little bit messed up at the beginning of the year. But you've got a contest, I think, starting this month that's better than the one we had. It won't be flat screen TVs.
It won't be. Ooh.
I think you've got. What is your plan? What is your
I'm sorry, I have not, since I left just at the beginning of the month, I have not seen that there's been
nothing has come out.
Oh, no. So maybe it's April that it's coming out. Oh, if you haven't
they
seen
were
it,
saying something that there would be something out for March, but there hasn't been further emails out, sort of. So yeah.
Well, maybe it's April then. I won't spoil it. But it's really good. It's really good.
Well, we're happy, not just flat screens and those things we were talking about, Colleen, over there, just some things that women might want, instead.
Yes, exactly. Something that women would want. Yes, exactly. Very much so. I'd want it. So
you'd want it. Okay.
It'll make everyone get to work. So whenever it comes out, I won't spoil it for everybody, because I don't know I thought it was this month, but maybe it's next month. So anyway, so I think we're in a really good place. I think that right now, I know that Nikken has got the best products. We're going to get better products. We're going to get more products. It's going to be, our web pages are going to be beautiful. They're going to be fast. They're going to be places you want to direct your customers and your registered customers, and that people will want to hang out with us. They will want to hang out and be around us, whether they're registered customers or new consultants. They will find it. It's going to be really a great new way and great new vision of where we're going with Nikken, and our products are cutting edge. We have no competition. We are such a lucky company, and I always say we're the best kept secret in the world. We need to start standing on our roofs and screaming Nikken around the globe, and get more people to know who we are. It's just, we need to talk to more people, and that's my take. No excuses, no cows. We're going to go out and talk to as many people as we possibly can, and get more people to join us, because this is an amazing company with amazing people, and I
like that. On stage, Ben actually said they'd done some little research things out, and to find out about where the I don't know the expression in English, but we say where the shoe is hurting your toes or your foot, so to say, when things are not quite as they should. But anyway, to find out details about our business, about the products, and so on, and they actually discovered that the customers and all the people we as distributors deal with, they are extremely happy with us, the distributors. And they love us, in sharing the information, and we're not a pain. We're not a pester. We're not pestering them. No. So that's the thing, you said at some stage, Colleen, this of building on your powers, the fact of being ourselves, and standing grounded on our 2 feet, and with no cows allowed anymore, and build on who we are. That is really important.
Yes.
Because if we're not true to ourselves, like Julie Tara with a heart message, and Susan Carver and all these others, if we're not true to ourselves, people will notice.
Yeah, and I think women, we do the business differently. We do it the way we want to do it, and what makes sense to us. You know, when something doesn't make sense, you don't want to go do it. It doesn't feel good. You want to do it the way you want to do it. And this business can be done any which way. I always say to people, don't do if it doesn't feel right, don't do it that way. So find the way that makes it feel right for you. So if you lead with the product, if that's what you want to do, we're sort of saying, you know, you just lead with the vision is really what we're trying to say right now, is lead with the vision. And you don't have to lead with product or business. You know, this is where we're going. This is what we're going to do, and we're on a really good path. But you know, our products are amazing, and that's the other one of those little anecdotes that Ben came out with. That 98% of the people came into our business with a product result. I mean, it was a really high, you know, it was a high percentage of people. So. Anyway, we're not going to take any more, no moos. We're going to moo at people if they don't participate and do what we, you know. And I also say congratulations to Europe for the 21 clubs that you're doing. And I just want to, you know, all the women in the business, if you haven't ever tried to do a 21 club, North America, we seem to be shy. I think, again, we're afraid of failure. And 21 clubs are meant to, you know, if you fail at a 21 club, I tell you, you're still going to be in a better place than you were without it. You've learned
something.
You learn something, exactly. Exactly what Dr. Cruz said. You learn how to do presentations. You will definitely make some retail sales, and you'll probably get someone to join you in the business. You may not achieve the 21 club, but boy, your business will be in a different place from doing it. And the more 21 clubs you do, the better you're going to get at it, and the more successful you'll get to be, and eventually it will move you into a different rank. And that's what I took away from Europe, is that everyone that was successful did massive amounts of 21 clubs. These people were doing 21 clubs back to back, 2 or 3 a month, you know, whatever it took. But North America, we seem to be a little bit quiet and shy about doing them. And if you don't know how to start one, I want to hear from people. I want to hear from people what's holding you back from starting a 21 club. I tell everyone in Silver Training, when they leave the training, the first thing there's to do is contact their upline, start ABCs, and get 21 clubs going. Get your contacts and get going. It doesn't matter how you do it, whether you're successful or not. The idea is just to get started. And
it's part of your schooling, in a way, to get ahead with Nikin. It's part of your training and schooling for it.
Yeah. It's perfect to do that because you've got the support of your A, which is your upline mentor, holding your hand all the way, and they're going to be there for you. They're going to support you and help you. And what you're going to learn is how they do the business and how successful they are at bringing people in. It's a really great tool to learn from. So I'm really sort of advocating that everyone try Business 21 Clubs and see how you go. And again, if you just want to do one and there's no one there that knows how to teach you or whatever or get you started, I want to hear from those people. I want to hear what we can do to help you. That's what I want to know. I want to see how we can support you in getting you started. So that's my message out to everybody.
But we also have another tool to support. I mean, we have lots of tools to support. And Charlotte, perhaps you will tell us a little bit more about some things we have coming up.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say that, as always, time is flying. But before I go directly to what you're trying to get me to say, I want to say that, of course, this anniversary is something big and special because it's global and it's not only few people, but like 1,500 people or so who were in Orlando. But these events are not only about the tools. It's not only about all the facts about our technologies and things like that. It's so much more. And I know time is running out, but Janneke, could you briefly just say the reason you went is not only for giving new facts, it's also for the before and after, and like you said, Colleen, there was party time and things like that. So why is that important? Just short.
Well, I've attended now since I started in Nikken. I've attended events in Norway, in Sweden, in Denmark, in Amsterdam, Holland, in Germany. I don't think have I been to France, Charlotte? I can't remember. I can't even remember anymore. And I've been to the US several times, and I love travel. I love meeting new people. I love, different cultures, things you can learn. And that's the thing. You go to these events, you have a great opportunity, fantastic opportunity. That was another word we learned, Colleen. Fantastic.
Fantastic. How are you today?
Fantastic. So, and we have all the tools and everything, all these brilliant things we get from Nikken, etc. But the one thing that is really important, we are in a business of people. And if you're stuck, being on your own in your own little village or town or wherever you are, you're just you. But you're part of something much, much bigger. If you go to this event, that will keep you, on a high. You will be inspired by meeting all these people. You will make lots of new connections whom you can, will be your friends. Charlotte and I, we'd met up before, but we actually really met up a couple of years back at an event in Orlando. And that was when we decided to start cooperating to, pep each other up during tougher times, etc. And you build these wonderful relationships and friendships. And when I was over there now, I had so many wonderful talks with so many different people, and I really, really love that. And that's part of our business. We cannot do our business without people. So if you're there, you will also benefit from all the different people and be able to share your stories, hear their stories, because there's so many incredible stories out there and you can learn from, and there might be things you can bring and share with others again. If you don't have a story kind of to tell yet, then you can learn from others. So yeah, that's part of the sharing and part of people, and people are wonderful, and the people in Nikken are really truly wonderful. There's so many incredible people there.
It was fun. The party was the best party I think I've ever been to, and the band was amazing. And I know people thought that they were posting Elton John was at our party, but that wasn't the case. There's some Elton John photos that got on Facebook, and I was like, what the heck? Where was he? I didn't see Elton John.
No, I think he actually had a concert in Orlando, just very close there somewhere. So somebody had somehow, because somebody talked about it, and I thought, what? Elton John? Okay. And they said, yeah, there is a concert somewhere nearby here.
Oh, I just thought it looked almost like the impression that people got that he was our talent, but we had talent almost as good as Elton John. They were the most amazing band. They were very entertaining. We danced and danced and danced, and I'm sure had the band and we were allowed to stay around, we would have gone for another 3 or 4 hours and continued to still have fun. But, talking about events and promoting, and I know just this is my last point, promotion is everything in this business. And you promote, you go to the bank. That's always been the case. I know people who've built multi-million-dollar businesses by just promoting events and working events. And you never attend an event by yourself. That's the key. These events are geared to be for new people. They're always talking to the person at the back of the room who just showed up and are building and want to come. The influence, I know a guy who brought 100 people to this event in Orlando. Do you not think his check is going to go through the roof, 100 people at his event? So he had a massive amount of people who brought people who brought people. And that's the whole idea, is take somebody with you. Never go alone. And, with your burning desire to persevere with no cows, that you will find people that will come. And I said, the event always takes care of itself. You didn't have to tell anybody at this event, whether they were brand new or had been around for 25 years, what they needed to do when they leave, or tell them how excited they should be, or anything. Everyone walked away going, I'm in. We all screamed, I'm in. We're all in. And we're moving forward all together. So it was very fun. Again, you guys have some events coming up. You don't want to miss your Budapest Hungry Women Empowerment Retreat. We've got one again in North America. We're going to share some of our presentations. We're going to work on this. So we will be able to go back and forth between US and Hungary, so you can hear Julie, Tara, and Susan Carver from your side, and we get to hear Barbara Cox, your keynote speaker from our side, and
I'll interrupt, Colleen, with regard to Barbara, because I realized being over in Florida that there were actually a lot of people on your side who don't know who she is.
No.
And I mean, she's an amazing entrepreneur, and she's originally a professional athlete as well. She lived in Japan for many years, and she now lives in the UK, but she's originally from Canada. Am I right, Charlotte? I think she's from Canada. But the thing is that she has also developed the complete balance products for Europe, Nick in Europe. So she's behind that. So, but we wanted her knowing that she knows Nicken.
But I know. Elsa brought me a package. I'm very lucky, girl.
Yeah. And do you like the flavor? I love that flavor.
Love it. I love it. I think that's why I said we all look at each other's side and go, why don't we have that in our but anyway, it'll all come. So, but yeah.
But she's she knows Nicken, she loves Nicken, and she's loving coming to the event. And we have some other great speakers as well, Charlotte, whom we will, let all guys know more about later on. But that's the thing, that we have people who know Nicken, who love Nicken on either side of the pond. And so back to you, Charlotte.
I know. I think you're going to get some North Americans at your event, and I don't know if there's some people coming from your side to ours, but it was hilarious. People wanted to go to yours, and I said, go where you need to go. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. We're all doing the same, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited about us doing something together.
It's going to be an amazing thing, and the energy is going to be different because we're only women.
Yes, and I can tell you,
we know from the one you did last year that the energy is different, and we're going to talk about how to do it as a woman, and not the male version of being boxed and all these systems that we're used to. That is how our upbringing is and everything. So it's not wrong to do it like that. But a lot of us women, we need something else, and now it's time to let ourselves shine and do it our way, like you said before, Colleen. So that will be like the last thing. Go to these web pages and look for it. You can also find it on the royalalliance.com webpage. There will be linked to both of them. Hopefully, at least that is our intent, that both of them will be in there.
Registration's open for us, so you can register right now. Hopefully the links work. We're going to repost our flyer. Our links weren't working to the registration, but you can go to sunriseranch.org, just on that, as you see that, and just go to they've listed, they've posted our event May 1st to 4th, and you can just click on and register that way too, so you don't have to wait for the flyer.
Yeah, and go ahead and do it straight away, because the thing is that, in organizing these events, it takes a little bit, so we need the planning time as well, and time is running for, so for getting, or rather the deadline of signing up for them. So for those of you who want to attend, don't wait, just make that decision to attend, because that's also the basis of, will you get other people with you, and what you will do in your business if you make a choice, or if you don't make a choice. That's also a choice.
Exactly. So, but sorry, ladies, time is flying, and
that was fun.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I loved everybody. I can't see everybody on the phone. I don't know how many people we have on today, but it's so fun to hang out with you.
Yeah, and it will be posted both on the Women in Power Facebook page, but But also,
if you haven't been on that one, do register. We've seen lately that we're getting more and more women signing up, and that is, we have, plans for that page, but sign in, and it will be more of sharing of various types of information little by little. But as Nikin was saying, we might need a little bit of time to get everything there where we want it, but it will get there. So sign up on that side as well.
I have a last question. Maybe you can answer that, Colleen. I have one asking, what time will the American one end on Sunday? The retreat, do you know that?
Oh, it actually ends on Monday. It starts Friday and it ends Monday at noon. So what we do is we meet for dinner on Friday night. We go Friday night, Saturday, all day Sunday, and then we meet Monday morning for just after breakfast, and we all have lunch together and we depart in the afternoon. So that's kind of how it goes. If people have to leave Sunday night, that's fine. There's no issue, but that's really kind of how it starts. So we get everyone there for dinner on Friday night. We have dinner about 5 or 6 o'clock, and then we start.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit different. We don't finish Sunday, we finish Monday. So
and we start on the Thursday afternoon, and then we finish by Sunday.
Yeah, so we're just like a day out of each other, but there is some common days there that we will be able to go back and forth. And where we are, they have this 70-inch huge Sony screen. They've got the best, coolest equipment, so we'll definitely see you guys loud and clear if hopefully the connections all work.
We're crossing our fingers. Yeah, but we will make sure the internet connections and all that technical stuff that will work out. I had one person I spoke to over there being a little bit worried. Julie, she was like, "I'm not really into the technical things," and I said, "Don't worry. Colleen will sort it out, so we'll be fine."
We'll be fine, and they have technical people on site, so we're good. No, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. So she doesn't have. That's not her thing. She just thinks that we'll leave Julie to do her best at what she does well, and she does great presentations, and same with Susan. It was a pretty cool. Everything we did last year was just amazing. And I'm just going to say one last thing, that everyone's check went up. I just went and did an analysis. Everyone who attended, and I haven't found one person, I'm not to the end, but everyone 60 days out, all their checks went up. So everyone was gun-ho and went home and did work. So it was good. We had great results.
There's another reason to join us. So yes.
Yep.
That was it for tonight, wherever you are in the world. And you can listen into it or send it to your downlines if they're not online tonight. Now because of summertime, different places in the world. So a bit of confusion, but it will be posted on the Royal Alliance YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. So stay tuned and see you next month for another great speaker. We'll post that shortly after this. So yeah, have a great day, evening.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you. Stay in touch.
Yes, we will.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.